ब्रह्मराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुन् दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा ऊश्च पृथ्वी बहुला न उर्वी भवतोकायतनयाय शंयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुन्ननावा दुरितातिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानोऽस्माकं बोध्यविता तनूनाम् पृतनाजितगुं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगुं हुवेम परमात् सदस्तात् स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा क्षामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषिकमीड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाश्च होता नव्यश्च सत्सि स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यं च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इहमादयन्ताम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Om Shri Sai Ram. On October 20th in 1940, when a young boy of the South Indian village of Puttaparthi declared that he is Sai Baba, little would have mankind imagined the epical significance of the proclamation. For what Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba established is unshakable foundation for an era of love. He has sown the seeds and nourished in each of us values such as truth, compassion, and non-violence. These are values etched for eternity in the Holy Scriptures too. For instance, revered Guru Sage Vyasa has given in the Bhagavatam 8 noble qualities called the Ashtapushpam. Our Swami bestowed his blessings on us by explaining on several occasions these 8 divine flowers and their essence. On this holy day, we, the alumni of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anantapur Campus, offer to our dear Swami with loving gratitude a garland of the 8 divine pushpams.
Ahimsa. The flower of ahimsa or non-violence takes precedence among the divine pushpams. Here is a brief presentation on what non-violence means in daily life.
Ahimsa परमो धर्मस्तत् अहिंसा परो दमः अहिंसा परमं दानम् अहिंसा परमस्तपः अहिंसा परमो यज्ञस्तत् अहिंसा परमं बलम् अहिंसा परमं मित्रम् अहिंसा परमं सुखम्.
What is ahimsa or non-violence?
The observance of non-violence has been described as the highest form of dharma. Among the teachings of the Buddha, the foremost was ahimsa, or not causing harm to anyone. Non-violence is not merely refraining from inflicting injuries on others with one's limbs or weapons. Non-violence has to be practiced with trikarna shuddhi, or purity of thought, word and deed. There should be no ill feelings, which is itself a form of violence. To cause harm to others through one's body is himsa or violence. No one should be harmed even by speech. Our words should be sweet, pleasing and wholesome. All actions should be helpful to others. Taken from Divine Discourse delivered on 15th May 1996.
Let us understand the principle of ahimsa through this short conversation.
Sairam dear, hope you enjoyed your Balavika's class today.
Saira Mama, it was good. Auntie spoke about ahimsa as the highest virtue. She taught us Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, which means that God resides in all beings. So, we must respect all beings and not harm or hurt anyone.
True. So, respecting all beings is respecting the divine within them, and hurting any being is hurting the divine within them.
But I'm a bit confused about the whole concept.
Oh, what is confusing you, Swapna? Let me see if I can clear your confusion.
If ahimsa is not harming anyone because God resides in all beings, then how is Lord Rama's killing of Ravana justified, or the war of Mahabharata? That's my confusion. On one side, Swami says we should not harm anyone even in our thoughts. And on the other side, I find Rama Krishna who killed people.
Yes, you see, concepts like these are never that simple. I can also see how it can be confusing. Lord Krishna was Shantipriya, the one who loved peace and desired world peace. Yet, he encouraged a long and hard battle in which millions of people died. So, is this himsa or ahimsa? Krishna himself answered this by giving an example of cancerous growth in the body. If we have a cancerous growth in our body, what do we do, Swapna?
We see a doctor and probably need a treatment or surgery to remove the growth so that it does not spread to the rest of the body.
Absolutely correct. So, what do you think about the doctor when he performs a surgery? Is he violent or practicing non-violence?
Okay, Amma. I kind of get your point. So, a knife in the hands of a doctor is good, but a knife in the hands of a person who intends to harm others is bad, right?
Well reasoned, Swapna. So, ahimsa paramo dharmaha, which means non-violence is the ultimate dharma. There is another interesting point. Dharma himsa tataivacha, which means violence is also dharma if it is done to protect dharma.
Oh, really? So, you are saying to protect dharma, if we indulge in violence, it is still non-violence?
Absolutely. In fact, Lord Krishna teaches us tolerance, which is ahimsa. Krishna went to great lengths to stop this war. He tried all means, including dialogue between the two opposing parties, as the first resort. It was only when all the doors for peace were shut and Duryodhana refused to do what was dharmic, the right thing, that Krishna declared war to be the last way out. To save dharma, Krishna indulged in war.
Wow, you explained that so clearly, Amma. Thank you.
You are welcome. But also remember, Swapna, that nonviolence is deep rooted in tolerance, morality, humility, and integrity. When the ethic of nonviolence is embraced as a means to the world peace, there is sure to be global harmony.
Yes, Amma. I am certainly going to practice ahimsa in thought, word, and deed. Thank you for helping me understand the ahimsa principle and so much more.
Having understood the different facets of ahimsa, let us listen to Bhagawan on ways to practice ahimsa.
కనుక మొట్టమొదటి అహింసా ధర్మాన్ని ఆచరణలో పెట్టదలసినటువంటి వ్యక్తి తనను తాను హింసించకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. ఇది ఏ విధంగా చూసుకోవాలి? తన నడత యందు సరైన మార్గం ఉన్నదా లేదా అనే విచారణ చేసుకోవాలి. అది కూడాను అహింసనే. తన వాక్కులందు కూడాను ఇది పరులను బాధించేటువంటి వాక్క లేదా అనేటువంటి విచారణ సల్పాలి. తన చూపులందు కూడాను దుర్మార్గమైనటువంటి దుష్ట సంకల్పంతో కూడినటువంటి చూపును ప్రవేశించకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. చెడ్డ విషయాలను వినకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. ఇవన్నీ కూడా తననే బాధిస్తున్నాయి. చెడ్డ అనగా ఏమిటి? కేవలము మన కాన్షియన్స్ కు విరుద్ధంగా ప్రవర్తించడమే ఒక చెడ్డ. కేవలము ఈ పంచభూతములతో అనుసరించేటువంటిది మాత్రమే కాకుండా భుజించేటువంటి విషయం నందు కూడా మనం అతి జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి. అతిగా భుజించడం కూడాను ఇది హింసగానే ఉంటుంది. కనుక మితముగా భుజించినప్పుడే తనకు హాయి చేకూరుస్తుంది. తనకు సుఖమునిచ్చినటువంటిదే ఇది అహింస. తనను బాధించినటువంటిదే హింస. అదే విధంగా మన జీవితం అంతా కూడాను కొంచెం అహింసామయమైనటువంటిదిగా ఉండాలి. మనం పీల్చే గాలి ఎందుకును ఎన్నో లక్షల క్రిములంతా కూడాను మరణిస్తున్నాయి. ఇవన్నీ కూడా హింసతో కూడినటువంటివి. అందువలననే ఈ హింస మనకు బాధించకుండా చూసుకోవాలన్నప్పుడు సర్వకర్మ భవత్ప్రీత్యార్థం అనేటువంటి భావంతో మనం ఆచరిస్తూ రావటం చేత ఈ హింస మనల్ని బాధించదు. అట్లని కేవలము మనకు తెలిసి కూడాను బాధించి ఇది సర్వకర్మ భవత్ప్రీత్యార్థం అంటే ఇది ప్రయోజనం లేదు. అహింస అనేటువంటిది మొట్టమొదటి ధర్మం మన యొక్క మానవులకు.
All religions call for the practice of ahimsa. Let's offer this flower of ahimsa to our dear Swami.
Indriya Nigraha. We next offer the flower of senses, Indriya Nigraha, that are sanctified and reined in to lead us on in the spiritual path.
Sanniyam
by restraining the senses and being even-minded everywhere, people who are given to the welfare of all beings attain me, says Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Our Bhagawan says, one needs to control the horses of desires with the reins of contentment. Mind has 5 wives, which are the sense organs. Just as a man with 5 wives cannot be in peace, the mind too is agitated at all times, unable to fulfill the demands of the sense organs. Hence, it is important to restrain the sense organs and offer them as flowers to the lotus feet of the Lord, even when they are fresh, before they fade away because of their contact with the sensory objects. In this context, let us listen to the dialogue between a mother and her daughter.
Mom, you look tired today because of your hectic work. Relax.
How sweet. That is what daughters are about. How was your day, child?
It was fine, Ma. I enjoyed it thoroughly. You know, I watched a thriller movie today. The movie had lot of suspenses and kept me at the edge of my seat throughout. Oh, what a movie that was.
Oh, nice to hear that. But did you attend your Balvika's class today?
Oh, Mom, I forgot about it completely.
Oh no, dear. That means you've forgotten to have a sattvic diet today.
No, Ma, that can't be. I had fruits, salads, and even recited Brahmarpanam before partaking my food.
My dear Nandini, Swami says sattvic diet does not mean simply the food we take to our mouth.
Is it? Then what else does sattvic food include?
It also includes the food we feed our senses with. In short, our sense organs must also be fed with pure food.
Oh my God! So by watching a movie today, I have polluted my eyes and ears and have refrained them from the sattvic food they deserve. I'm really sorry, Ma.
Yes, dear, that indeed is a cause for concern. But child, you are young and yours is the right age to practice sense control. Remember, Swami has told youth gives the determination to control senses.
Yes, Mom, that's true. But Swami has also said our happiness is the only thing that he expects from us. To be honest, I felt really happy while watching that movie.
Yes, dear, Swami did say so. But people are under the mistaken notion that they would derive happiness when all their desires are fulfilled. In fact, happiness results not when desires are fulfilled, but when desires are controlled.
Yes, Mom. I also remember my Balavika's Guru has taught me about sealing on desires. Mom, but how do we practice sense control? Are there any practical ways to execute the same?
Yes, child, there is. Come, let's watch a video and get to know how to effectively use the sense organs and direct them towards a higher goal. Guess what? It's a puppet show that was sent by your Balvika's Guru yesterday.
Wow! A puppet show on sense control? I'm excited to see what these little puppets are going to tell us.
Hearty welcome to the Puppet Kingdom. As the curtains unfold, listen to the truths that are told. Let us ever remain in Swami's fold, for His is the real kingdom of gold. We are now going to begin with the song. As is the food, so is the mind. As is the mind, so are the thoughts. As are the thoughts, so is the conduct. As is the conduct, so is your health. So is your health.
The ancient tradition speaks of the 5 sense organs of cognition and the 5 sense organs of action. We are going to listen to the 5 sense organs which are regulated by the human mind. We will understand what they like to be fed with.
Bhagawan says, the eyes are given to see God. Open the physical eyes to open the eye of wisdom. O Lord, fill me with your love so that I may see your divine grandeur in all things that I come across.
I converse with the Lord inside in the language of the fragrance of the flowers that are offered at the divine lotus feet is all that I want to smell. O Lord, fill me with the fragrance of your breath.
I have a dual role to play. Bhagawan says, strike a balance between what you eat and what you speak. I only want to be filled with food in what is offered to God. Every word I utter be the name of the Lord. O Lord, bless me to delight in your name and sing your glories always.
I want to listen to the bhajans and glories of our Bhagawan. O Lord, let me not hear harsh music or words. Let me listen to the stories that glorify you.
I should be used to serve the society. Give me an opportunity to wipe the tears of the needy. Let me fold and submit unto Thee in reverence.
O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work for Thee.
Sarva Bhuta Daya. With senses and desires under control, compassion sprouts towards all living beings. Here is the Pushpam of Sarva Bhuta Daya.
Adveshta Sarva Bhuta
Let us now hear what Bhagawan has to say about Sarva Bhuta Daya.
సర్వభూత దయా పుష్పం. మూడవది సర్వభూతములు ఎందుకును దయ ఉండాలి.
The third flower is the flower of compassion towards all living creatures.
ఏ భూతమును కూడాను మనము ద్వేషించరాదు.
We should not hate any living being.
దీనినే భగవద్గీత యందు అద్వేష్ట సర్వభూతానాం అన్నది.
This Bhagavad Gita says, do not hate anyone.
కేవలం ద్వేషించడం మాత్రమే కాదు,
not merely absence of hatred.
అధికంగా నీవు వారితో సంభాషణ సల్పవద్దు.
Do not have too much of connection with people.
అందరితో ప్రేమగా నీవు జీవించు.
Anyway, you have to live in love with others.
కనుక సర్వభూత దయా పుష్పం,
the flower of compassion towards all living beings.
నవ విధమైనటువంటి సేవలు చెప్పారు ప్రపంచంలో.
In this world, 9 parts of service were explained.
కానీ ఈ నవ విధమైనటువంటి భక్తులు ఎందుకును కేవలము సేవ చాలా ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది.
In all the 9 parts of devotion, service is highest.
ఈ నవ విధమైనటువంటి భక్తులు ఎందుకును సర్వభూత దయా పుష్పం చాలా ముఖ్యమైనటువంటిది అన్నారు.
Of all the 9 parts of devotion, the compassion towards all living beings is most essential.
నిరంతరము మనుషులకు సేవ చేసేటువంటి వాడు.
Adam spent all his time.
ఈ సేవ యొక్క ఘనతయే ఫస్ట్ లీడ్ లో వచ్చేసింది.
This mystery and the greatness earned him the first place in the list.
అప్పుడే భగవంతుడు అతన్ని ప్రేమిస్తూ వచ్చాడు.
Then that's the reason why God loved him.
ఎవరిని ప్రేమించాడు? భగవంతుడు అందరినీ ప్రేమిస్తుంటాడు.
God loves all. In
ప్రేమే తన యొక్క స్వరూపము.
God is love.
కానీ
but
సర్వభూత దయా పుష్పం, ఆ విధంగా భూతదయ కలిగినటువంటి వాడిని భగవంతుడే వచ్చి ప్రేమిస్తుంటాడు.
In fact, if you have got that compassion, God will come to you and love you.
కనుక ఈ విధమైనటువంటి సేవలు యందు మనం చాలా ఆతీరులై ఉండాలి.
We should be experts in this art of service.
Sairam, what a wonderful way to begin this satsang. We just heard the beautiful words of Bhagawan. He emphasizes so much on daya, compassion. Bhagavan says, daya or compassion alone is not an act of service. It is the feeling or bhava behind the service which is important.
When we say Daya, the first name that comes to mind is Mother Teresa.
I remember reading the story. One night, Mother Teresa, along with her 2 other nuns, rushed to the streets of London to help the homeless people. Noticing one man in particular, Mother got out of the car and went to him. At first, he took no notice of her presence. But when she took his hand, he looked up and said, "It has been a long time since I felt the warmth of a human hand." Mother could not leave that man to suffer. She returned to the car and asked the others to take that man to the Salvation Army immediately. This story teaches us love cannot remain by itself. It has no meaning. Love has to be put into action, and that action is service.
When I dwell over this, I wonder, is showing daya at all times possible? Can we maintain the karuna swabhav under all circumstances?
It is natural to have this question in current times. Let me share a story on how we should not be swayed by the antagonistic acts of others. Once a monk was walking alongside a stream when he saw a scorpion struggling in the water. Knowing that scorpions cannot swim, he quickly plunged into the water and rescued it. Just when he was about to set the scorpion down, it stung him. The monk pulled back his hand in pain only for the scorpion to fall into the stream again. He tried to rescue the scorpion several times, but the scorpion always stung back. Unperturbed, the monk finally saved the scorpion. A little boy who had witnessed the whole incident walked up to him and inquired the reason for his persistent efforts despite the pain of the stings. The monk explained to him that it is the water's nature to make him wet and the scorpion's nature to sting. Likewise, it is human nature to serve others at times of need. I agree. Empathy towards all beings, humans and animals. Bhagawan has on multiple occasions reiterated that serving humans alone is not service. It is essential to serve all living beings when the need arises.
Yes, there are many people who are truly inspiring. Bhagwan's mother, Ishwaramma, is also known as the Divine Mother of Compassion. Her heart went out to people when she saw their suffering and their struggle for basic necessities. She asked Bhagwan for 3 wishes. Her desires became the divine will and took shape as educational institutions, hospitals, and drinking water projects.
The enormity of these projects are indeed difficult to fathom. We see how so many Sai volunteers with full love and devotion serve every single day. Keeping this in mind, let us fill our days with compassionate thoughts and loving service.
We will now conclude the satsang with this beautiful bhajan.
दीन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा दीन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा दीन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा
Kshama. Life is a challenge. Meet it, says Swami. Development of forgiveness and forbearance is the panacea that Bhagawan suggests so that we overcome the challenges. we offer the divine flower of Kshama.
तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत
क्षम सत्यमु क्षम धर्ममु क्षम वेदमु क्षम अहिंसा क्षम यज्ञंबु क्षम संतोषमु क्षम दया क्षम सर्वस्वंबु सर्वलोकमुలందు क्षम सर्वस्वंबु सर्वलोकमुలందు क्षम सर्वस्वंबु सर्वलोकमुలందు.
This beautiful padyam by our beloved Bhagawan brings home the true meaning of Kshama. It is an all-encompassing virtue that promotes divine qualities. It endows the one that practices it with truth, righteousness, and the very essence of the Vedas. It confers the benefits of attending an yajna, which in turn leads to bliss and the sprouting of kindness.
Kshama establishes the reality that God is present in everyone and we must forgive one and all their trespasses. Without Kshama, man cannot be happy even for a Kshana. Kshama is forbearance and forgiveness. It is in fact the totality of our existence. Practicing Kshama on a daily basis is really simple as depicted in the following story.
Krishnappa was a humble, devout man who lived by the banks of the river Kaveri in Pumpuhar, a small town in Tamil Nadu. He used to earn his living by weaving cloth and selling it in his small shop. People admired his patience and peaceful demeanor and used to come from far and near to buy clothes from him. In Pumpuhar, there also lived a small mischievous boy, Vaibhav, who was the son of a rich merchant. Vaibhav was pampered, ill-mannered, and disrespectful. One day, Vaibhav came to Krishnappa's shop and picked up an expensive sari and demanded to know, "Hey, how much does this sari cost?" Krishnappa replied kindly, 500 rupees. The next moment, Vaibhav tore the sari in half and questioned, "How much now?" Unperturbed, Krishnappa replied, 250 rupees. A little miffed, a little intrigued, Vaibhav tore the sari further and asked, "Now how much?" Krishnappa was still very calm and composed. Patiently he answered, 125 rupees.
Genuinely surprised and also ashamed, Vaibhav asked Krishnappa sheepishly, "I tore an expensive sari, and yet you have remained calm and relaxed. There is no sign of anger either in your tone or in your vision. You have the same sweet smile all the time. How is that possible?" Krishnappa responded kindly, "The sari you tore was only worth 500 rupees. But if I were to get angry, I would lose my peace of mind
which is invaluable to me. When I practice forbearance, peace, love, joy, contentment follow suit. Forbearance is truth, right conduct, non-violence, and forgiveness. It is a source of immense joy. There is nothing greater than Kshama in this world.
What an enlightening story that was. Life is not a bed of roses. As Bhagawan says, difficulties are inevitable and they will come in all shades. It is only your firm determination that will help you cultivate this virtue. Hence, there is no better time to start practicing Kshama than now, when the world is rife with uncertainties, disease, and unrest. Without getting upset at what life presents us, let us inculcate Kshama in our daily lives by being more forgiving towards our family members, our friends, and our colleagues at work. We offer a prayer to Bhagawan to help us imbibe Kshama in our lives.
We wobbled over rocks and rubble to land in the beautiful garden of roses. We rejoiced at the bright red hues with the mystic fragrance. Not a single prick, nothing to grumble.
Little did we know, 2 soft hands thwarted all the thorns and never let us fumble.
Those tender palms were none other than our mother's sighs.
O Kshamadai Saima, you forgave our trespasses and taught us forbearance.
We pray that these lessons be etched in our hearts with your assurance.
Let us be your chosen roses to spread thy fragrance. We blossom at your lotus feet now and forever.
Kshama Murti Sai Baba, Prema Murti Sathya Sai, Kshama Murti Sai Baba, Prema Murti Sathya Sai.
Shanti. We offer the Pushpam of Shanti at the lotus feet of Bhagawan, praying for peace at all realms of the universe and the self.
Om Prithvi Shantirantarikshragam Shantirdyav Shantir Dishash Shantiravantara Dishash Shantihi Agnish Shantir Vayush Shantiradityash Shantish Chandramash Shantir Nakshatrani Shantirapash Shantiroshadhayash Shantihi Vanaspatayash Shantir Gaush Shantiraja Shantirashva Shantif Purushash Shantir Brahma Shantir Brahmanash Shantish Shanti Reva Shantish Shantir Me Astu Shantihi.
The Dasha Shanti mantra that we just heard emphasizes the fact that peace alone pervades the entire universe. Bhagavan says that universal peace originates and radiates from within each one of us. At an individual level, this Shanti or peace manifests in different forms such as tolerance, calmness, and patience. With Swami's grace, let us listen to a Harikatha that brings out how Shanti, the flower of peace, was an ornament for several sages and saints.
On this wonderful Avatar Declaration Day, what can be more special than listening to stories from Swami's life and from the lives of great saints? Today, we are going to share instances from the lives of Swami, Meera, and Shabari.
It is enlightening to know how each of them endured the ups and downs of life with patience and experienced the peace within. Let us begin our Hari Katha with a loving offering to Lord Ganesha, the remover of all the obstacles.
Shri Ganesha Shivuni Kumara Shrita Jana Vinuta Prabhu Prabhu Shrita Jana Vinuta Prabhu Jai Bolo Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba Ji Ki Jai.
We will begin with a story from our dear Swami's life. When Swami was a small boy, he was sent to an exorcist because everyone thought he was crazy and he needed treatment. Little Sathya was extremely patient with the world's ignorance. At one point, his mother and sister could not bear this anymore and stopped the process. Swami was still calm. With a clear mind, he guided them on the herbs to be applied and cured himself.
He never complained or lost his temper. He maintained inner peace by being tolerant.
Usually, we tend to believe that we lose our peace of mind because of the people around us or because of the chaos in the world. But Swami has demonstrated that peace is our innate nature, and to exhibit it is a choice we should exercise.
Satya dharma mo shanti premalato me nitya jeevana yatra saginchu.
At this juncture, I am reminded of Mirabai, venerated as Sant Mirabai. In spite of all the troubles in her life, she was peaceful because of her enduring calmness. She used to sing,
Chakar rakho ji, Prabhu ji bhane, chakar rakho ji. Chakar reso, baag lagaso, nitut darshan paso. Vrindavan ki kunj galin mein, Vrindavan ki kunj galin mein, Govind leela gaso, Prabhu ji bhane, chakar rakho ji.
Although Meera was born and married into a royal family, she was subjected to many physical, mental, and emotional turmoils. Lost in the thoughts of the divine and with a heart full of love, she, however, remained detached. She exemplifies how divine thoughts endow calmness and courage.
विष का प्याला राणा जी ने भेजा विष का प्याला राणा जी ने भेजा
पीकर मीरा हंसी रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे. Another epitome of peace and patience is Shabari, an ascetic from the Ramayana. Simple, devout Shabari meticulously, day after day, prepared herself and the ashram to receive Lord Rama. She knew not when he would come, but had the conviction that he would come. Finally, after many years of perseverance and waiting, Rama did show up at her ashram. In this current pandemic situation, each one of us is like a Shabari, waiting for the return of normalcy but meticulously doing our duty. Swami, please bless us that we may have unwavering faith in you and like Shabari remain patient.
Ramanama tarakam sada bhajore Ramanama tarakam sada bhajore. Let us seek Bhagawan's blessings and pray that,
like Shabari, with complete faith in our Mother Sai, we will practice patience and perseverance.
like Meera, we calm the mind by filling it with the thoughts of the divine.
Like Swami, let us show tolerance in every walk of our lives. Tolerance brings peace within.
Let us delve deeper within to find the flower of Shanti and offer it at His lotus feet.
I want peace, I want peace, I want peace.
Every individual in the world is crying for that I want peace.
I want peace అనేది అంటూనే మనకుంటున్నది peace.
If you say I want peace, do you get peace?
I want peace. 3 words ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ.
There are 3 words there. I want
I
peace.
is ego.
I is the ego.
Want is desire.
Want is desire.
ఈ రెండు తీసేస్తే peace రెడీమేడ్ గా ఉంది.
If you suppress these 2, peace is ready-made available.
కాబట్టి peace అనేటువంటిది మనము ఒక తట్టు ఈగో, ఒక తట్టు ఇది డిజైర్ రెండింటిని ప్యాక్ చేసుకొని వచ్చేస్తుండాలి.
The peace is packed between ego and desire.
ప్యాకింగ్ తీసివేస్తే పదార్థం మనకు లభ్యమవుతుంది.
When you remove the packing, you get the article.
కనుకనే ఈ ప్రపంచంలో చిక్కది మనకు పీస్.
It is not there in the creation of peace.
Outside the only pieces, there is no peace.
In the outside there are only pieces, there is no peace.
నీ లోపలనే ఉంటుంది.
Peace is within you.
जय साईनी सर्वेशुनी जगदीशुनी जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय.
Tapas. Tapas or penance in this age is continuous remembrance of the divine name of the Lord. Let us present to Bhagawan the flower of tapas.
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञा पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यम् अहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते.
The flower of penance, Ashtapushpam, is very dear to God. In Buddhism, it denotes spiritual practices which involve meditation and self-discipline. In Jainism, it means asceticism. Does this mean tapas is not meant for ordinary mortals like you and me who find it difficult to indulge in strict spiritual practices? Bhagawan very lovingly explains to us that tapas is very much for all. How is that? Let's listen to it in his own voice.
Tapapushpam.
The flower of penance.
ఈ తపస్సు.
Penance.
ఏమిటి తపస్సు?
What is penance?
అడవులకు పోయి కందమూలాదులు భుజించి భగవంతుని స్మరించడమా తపస్సు?
What do you mean by penance? Going to the forest and partaking the tubers and leaves
అది
there?
నిజంగా తమస్సు అనే చెప్పవచ్చును.
It is not tapas penance, but it is tamas.
తపస్సు అనగా ఏమిటి? అన్నింటి ఎందుకును తాను ప్రతి దానికి కూడాను సిద్ధముగా ఉండాలి.
Tapas penance meant readiness for everything.
తపస్సు అంటే కేవలం మనోవాకాయముల చేత కలిగేటువంటి ఉద్రేకాన్ని మనం అరికట్టాలి.
Penance meant controlling all the agitations and the disturbances.
సాత్వికమైన, రాజసికమైన, తామసికమైన కూడాను ఏకభావంతో చూడాలి.
We should have that equanimity in all moments of inertia, the passion.
నిరంతరం కూడాను మన మనసును దైవం నందుంచాలి.
We should concentrate on God all the time.
నువ్వు ఏ పనైనా చేస్తురా,
You do anything.
ఏ సేవలైనా చేస్తురా,
Serve in any capacity.
కానీ వాంఛను నీ యందు ఉంచుకోకు.
But don't have desire.
వాంఛారహితమైనటువంటి యొక్క భావమే తపస్సు.
That desirelessness state is penance.
The story which we are going to present is adapted from the Chinna Katha. Bhagavan through this story explains that tapas is placing faith in the Lord and dedicating everyday chores and tasks to Him. Sage Narada was devoted to Lord Vishnu, the one who protects and preserves life on earth. One day he asked Lord Vishnu,
Lord, is there anyone who is more devoted to you other than me? Is there anyone who chants and sings about your leelas continuously like me? I think there is no one who is superior in devotion to me.
But in doing so, sage Narada went against the very first qualification of a devotee, that is, freedom from egoism. In order to teach sage Narada a lesson, Lord Vishnu came up with a plan.
You must perform a task for me. Go to the village near the Ganges river. There lives a farmer who tills his land and is a greater devotee than you. You should visit him and learn the art of devotion from him.
Humiliation and curiosity made sage Narada proceed to the farmer's village. He was amazed to find that the farmer was engrossed either in doing his work on the field or was busy at home all the time. And in spite of the most vigilant watch, sage Narada did not hear him utter the Lord's name more than thrice a day. Once when he woke up from bed, another time when he took his midday meal, and the third time when he retired for the night. Sage Narada was naturally incensed that he was deemed inferior to this very poor specimen of a devotee.
I sing the divine stories of the Lord in such beautiful melodies. I spread the message of chanting His name with every breath we take. But how can this ordinary man be considered superior to me? He remembers the Lord just 3 times a day. Narayana, Narayana.
Sage Narada hurried to heaven. His face was flushed with anger and ignominy. Looking at him, Lord Vishnu only laughed at his plight. In answer to his anxiety, the Lord gave him another task.
Carry this pot on your head and go around the course without spilling even a drop of water.
Sage Narada placed the pot on his head and began to walk. He was happy that he had completed the given task successfully.
How many times did you remember me while carrying the pot on your head?
Remember you? All I could think of was that wretched pot. Whether it would drop or if the water would spill or I would trip.
The farmer manages to invoke my name a few times every day amidst all the daily work he does. He was carrying on his head more precious and more spoilable burdens than a pot of water. He was also being careful to not bring harm to any of them. Don't you think he is my greatest devotee? Even if you remember my name with thankfulness, sincerity, and free from all egoism, it is rewarding enough and is equivalent to doing tapas.
Sage Narada had learnt his lesson and humbly bowed down in front of the Lord.
Narayana, Narayana.
So, how do we practice tapas in everyday life? Some starting points could be coordination between thought, word and deed, being patient, compassionate and forbearing, giving respect to all and practicing non-violence. But the easiest one is to think of the Lord at all times, no matter which work we are engaged in. Swami also always insists on Namasmarana, chanting of the divine name.
Let us listen to this bhajan and take refuge in Namasmarana. There is no greater spiritual sadhana than this.
हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि नाम मूले का आनंद यदि प्रेम भक्ति चढ़ा उद्धारिणे गुरु सेवइन्द्री मोक्ष मिले हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं.
Dhyana. Bhagawan has guided us to concentrate on his lotus feet in the midst of several distractions. This is the offering of dhyana or meditation.
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाधी बलवदृढम् तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्.
The mind is very restless, turbulent, strong and obstinate, O Krishna. It appears to me that it is more difficult to control than the wind. Arjuna speaks for all of us when he describes the troublesome mind. It is restless because it keeps fleeting in different directions from subject to subject. It is turbulent because it creates upheaval in one's consciousness in the form of hatred, anger, lust, greed, envy, anxiety, fear, attachment.
To this, Lord Krishna replies, "What you say is correct. The mind is indeed very difficult to restrain. But by practice and detachment, it can be controlled."
Swami says, meditation is a mental process that is beyond or above the world of the senses. Further, Swami says that we should not follow the vagaries of the mind. Let the mind run wherever it likes. Just be careful not to follow it, seeking to discover where it is going.
Dhyana induces God to come down to you and inspires you to raise yourself to Him. Before you start dhyana, Swami says, chant Soham, I am God, inhaling So and exhaling Hum. Swami also recommends Jyotir meditation.
People wait all week for Friday, all year for summer, and all their life looking for happiness. Our lives are filled with stress and a sense of urgency. There is always an urgency to finish tasks on time, earn money, or to get recognition. There are plenty of gadgets and devices that constantly ring, beep, and blink all around us, causing our minds to get distracted and taking away our focus from the important things of our life. The following examples are some of the day-to-day situations of sadhakas embarking on the journey of meditation and their challenges.
Oh, am I supposed to do this mudra or this one with these two fingers? Let me check the app that I installed recently that talked about the correct mudras. Where is the app? Looks like I have too many apps installed. I should definitely delete some, organize it, and then start my meditation.
Sai Ram, I'm so happy. It's only 6 a.m. and I already put the dal in the cooker. Let me meditate for some time while the kids' lunch is getting ready. So, oh wait, am I supposed to pause longer between so and hum? What does Swami say? Let me start again. So, wait, is that the second or the third whistle? It's okay. I'll try again. So, these whistles are getting longer and longer. Maybe I better stop the cooker, take the dal out, and then resume my meditation?
Thank God it's Friday. I will finally get some time to do my meditation. I'm done with my work for the week. Clear cache, delete history, and let me start. What's that? Oh, I'm not going to prepare these reports within an hour. On a Friday evening, no way. I will not let that bother me now. I will continue to meditate just like I decided to. Oh, not again. He will keep pinging me until I finish and send the report. I would rather send it now so that he doesn't ping me again. Then I'll sit for meditation. I have the entire weekend for that.
From these examples, you have seen how difficult it is to control the monkey mind. However, this is the first step in meditation. Swami says, in the flood of human life, ups and downs occur all the time. No one can escape them, so we have to accept this fact. And far from being afraid and worried about the problems, one should view them as adding to one's experience.
ధ్యానం అని కూర్చుంటారు.
One sits in meditation.
ఏది ధ్యానము?
What is meditation?
జీవితంలో సర్వము ధ్యానమే.
In life, everything is meditation.
ఆఫీసుకు పోతున్నావు, ఆఫీసులో పని చేస్తున్నావు.
You go to the office and work there.
అక్కడ ధ్యానం లేకపోతే ఆఫీస్ పని ఏ రీతిగా చేయగలవు?
When you don't meditate on your work, how do you do that?
ఈ ఆఫీసుకు పోయే సమయంలో కారును రోడ్ లోపల డ్రైవ్ చేసుకుని పోతున్నావు.
While going to the office, you drive your way.
డ్రైవ్ చేసే సమయంలో నీకు రోడ్డు పైన ధ్యానం లేకపోతే నువ్వు ఏ రీతిగా డ్రైవ్ చేయగలవు?
While driving, if you don't concentrate, how do you reach?
ధ్యానం అంటే ఏమిటి?
What is meant by meditation?
Walking, talking, reading, writing, eating, everything is ధ్యానమే.
Walking, talking, reading, writing, everything is meditation.
అనగా ఒక్క విషయం పైన మనసును లగ్నం చేయటమే ధ్యానము అని.
Meaning concentrating on one thing is
ధ్యానం అంతా ఒక చదువు పైన. కనుకనే అదే విధంగానే నీ యొక్క మనసును భగవంతుని పైన లగ్నం చేయి.
Similarly, you concentrate on God.
అంతేకాని నిరంతరం కూడా నువ్వు ఏదో చేస్తున్నావనుకొని నీవు భగవంతుని పని చేయటం లేదని అనుకోకూడదు.
While discharging your duty, you should never
ఏ
feel that
పని
you are not
చేసినా
serving
ఇది
God.
భగవంతుని పని.
Whatever you may do is God's service.
Swami, we pray that you grant us victory in our sadhana. Bless us to turn inward to find the light of selfless love. We place the Anantapurshpam at your divine lotus feet.
Sathya. Finally, the 8th Pushpam that we offer is our prayers to lead a life of Satyam, taking cue from great personalities who imbibed truth as their life principle.
Satyam bruyat priyam bruyat na bruyat satyam apriyam priyam jananrutam bruyat yesha dharma sanatana.
Satyam vada, dharmam chara. Swami, in his discourse on the occasion of Dasara celebrations in the year 2002, said that for all living beings, food is most indispensable. The sun provides food. It brings us rains, which in turn helps the crops to grow. Food originates from Satyam. It consists of 3 syllables, Sat, Ya and Ma. Sat is life, Ya represents food, and Ma the sun. The sun, food and life together constitute Satyam. Thus, creation emerges from truth and merges into truth.
Here is a song exalting our dear Swami, our merciful Lord Satyanarayana, the embodiment of truth.
Sai Rama, Sai Rama, வர வேண்டும் எங்கள் முன்பு நீ தர வேண்டும் உந்தன் சந்நிதி ரத்னாகரவம்ச திலகோத்தமா ஆத்மலிங்கோத்பவ சாயி கங்காதரா சத்யஸ்வரூபனி புருஷோத்தமா கலியுகத்தின் சத்யநாராயணா சாய் ராமா சாய் ஈஸ்வராம்பாயின்ற இனிய குமாரா, பர்த்தியில் தோன்றிய சாய் சுகுமாரா, மானுட சேவை மகேஷனின் சேவை, அன்பினால் ஆழ்வதே உண்மையில் தேவை. உன்னவதாரத்தின் நோக்கம் அது சத்தியத்தை என்றும் காக்கும். உன்னவதாரத்தின் நோக்கம் அது சத்தியத்தை என்றும் காக்கும். சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே, சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே. கணீரே ரே சனிதப சா பா சனிதப மத சகமபனி சகமபத நிதபமபனி சனி கரி சனி சமகரி சனிதபனி சகரி நிரே சப சனி மனிதப மகரி சனி சகமபனி சகரி நிரே சப சனி மனிதப மகரி சனி சகமபனி சனி சகமகரி கரி சனிதப ரே ச ரே சனிதப மா சகமபனி. சத்தியத்தை உன் பெயரில் கொண்டாயே, சமத்துவத்தை நீ எவர்க்கும் தந்தாயே, அவதார புருஷன் நீ என்றறிந்தோமே, பிரேம சாயாய் அவதரிப்பாயே. கற்பகமாகிய தருவே சத்தியமானதொருவே, கற்பகமாகிய தருவே சத்தியமானதொருவே. சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே, சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே, சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே, சத்குருவே சரணடைந்தோமே.
With this song, which has been so beautifully rendered, let's have a glimpse on how truth was an integral part in the lives of Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, and Chandramati, as narrated by Swami.
Gandhi's mother used to observe a daily ritual known as Kokila Vrata. As soon as she completed the ritual, she would wait for the call of the cuckoo bird before having her breakfast. One day, she waited for a long time without eating food for the call of the cuckoo. Noticing this, the young Gandhi went out of the house, imitated the cooing of the cuckoo, and then told his mother, "Mother, now that the cuckoo has made its call, please eat your food." Unable to contain her grief, the mother slapped on the cheeks of Gandhi and wailed, "Oh Lord, what sin have I committed that such a liar should be born to me?" She had tears in her eyes as she spoke. Deeply moved by his mother's words, Gandhi made a promise to her, "In my life, henceforth, I will always speak the truth." From then onwards, Gandhi lived up to his promise and earned the title of Mahatma.
Abraham Lincoln, too, had abided by truth his whole life. While he was young, his mother had taken care of him. Because of poverty, she had to maintain the family by working as a tailor, stitching worn-out clothes. One day, Lincoln, while sitting on the lap of his mother, went on feeling sad and said to his mother, "I am being disrespected and put to shame by my classmates." As he was wearing old, dirty clothes, he was not accepted by his classmates and they would maintain their distance from him. It was his mother who said to him that poverty, though cheap in the sight of the public, will finally one day help him gain respect. She advised him to always speak the truth, unmindful of his financial position. From then on, Lincoln adhered to truth and went on to become the President of United States.
This land of Bharat has given birth to many noble women. One such noble woman was Chandramati. Once Chandramati was passing through a forest along with her husband and son. Suddenly, the whole forest was on fire and they were surrounded by flames of wildfire. When Chandramati utilized her power of truth, the fire was extinguished in a trice. As Chandramati prayed, there was a heavy downpour. Ultimately, the fire was completely extinguished and they came out of forest safely.
Thus, let truth emanate from our hearts so we can win Swami's grace forever.
The everyday activities of life become divine offerings when they are carried out with a pure heart, noble thoughts, and value-oriented actions. Swami had taught us in his distinctive way the life lessons of Ashtapushpam, and we offer those at his divine feet now with love and prayers.